Welcome back to the Breastfeeding with Confidence podcast. I am your host, Jaimie Zaki. You can see in the background, if you are watching this on video, my office is still not done and we are still echoey, but thanks for hanging in there with me. All right, today we are in the smack dab middle of World Breastfeeding Week. It is the beginning of World Breastfeeding Month, and it is a time to celebrate breastfeeding, right? So, what else is this podcast about? But we're going to have an extra celebration today. This week only, August 1st through the 7th, and we are almost there, y'all. The Breastfeeding Resource Library is an extra $100 off. Y'all, that means it is $97 right now only. It is never this affordable. It is worth over $297, and I am practically giving it away this week because I want you to feel prepared for breastfeeding if you are pregnant, and if you have already had your baby and you are wondering if this is useful for you, it absolutely is, because I designed this to be unlike any other breastfeeding class. This is not just here's the basics, this is what it should look like, good luck. This is what it should look like, but here's what it can look like. And if it is hard, here's what you do about it. Here's why. Here's how you handle it. Here's how you advocate for yourself if you need more support, but you're not sure you're going to get that good support. You don't trust the providers that you've been working with. This teaches you how to identify problems, implement solutions that actually have a chance of working, not just one size fits all Band-Aid fixes, and then advocating confidently for more support if and when you need it. Go grab it now, littlebearlactation.com/library, $97 through the 7th only. And when you join, you're going to get an exclusive invitation to join the Confident MamaBear Society, which the mama on my call today told me that she thought that this Confident MamaBear Society would be too good to be true. And she's blown away at the support and connection and how wonderful this resource is. So I'm telling you, you need to get in there. And the Confident MamaBear Society is only for people who have joined the library, who have library access. I know that's a little frustrating, but I want to make sure that you have a really strong foundation coming into the Confident MamaBear Society so that I can give you the absolute best support and guidance possible. And I don't want to waste your time repeating things that, when we have a big group, like repeating things that everybody already knows, teaching you basics. I want you to already have that strong foundation. So you get into the library, you build that foundation, and then you bring your questions. You come for connection to our live calls in the Confident MamaBear Society, and you can get expert answers. It is only $39 a month, and when you check out with at the Breastfeeding Resource Library, if you join at the same time, you save $10 on your first month. And you can cancel anytime. So if you're like, you know what, this support is not necessary because the library answered all my questions and I don't need extra support, then you can just cancel your membership. It is that easy. I really hope to see you inside because, Mama, this podcast is great and I love it, but it is not everything that you're going to need, and you're going to need extra support, and I'm here for you. I want to be here for you. Let me be here for you. Do not get stuck in a spiral of feeling like you have no support and you don't know where to turn for answers. Help is available. Resources are available.
Hey, Mama Bear. Welcome to the Breastfeeding with Confidence podcast. Do you dream of bonding with your baby through exclusive breastfeeding, but worry about breastfeeding pain or low milk supply? Maybe you're struggling with breastfeeding and no one seems to have any answers. I'm Jaimie, doula, international board certified lactation consultant, and mom of 5, and I have been where you are. After working through painful latches, milk supply worries, and postpartum depression, and supporting countless mothers through their breastfeeding journeys for over 8 years, I'm here to tell you breastfeeding doesn't have to be perfect to be positive. Each week, I'll share breastfeeding tips to help you prevent and overcome unexpected breastfeeding challenges so you can actually enjoy bonding with your baby. If you are ready to shut out the toxic whispers of the world, embrace your God-given intuition, and release your inner fierce mama bear, grab some coffee or your favorite herbal tea and let's dive in.
All right, today we are going to be talking about inverted nipples. And honestly, I can't remember if we've talked about this before. I think we've touched on it on a couple different topics, but I don't think we've just had a conversation about inverted nipples. And if we have, we're having it again because I keep seeing posts on Facebook talking about moms who are struggling with latching, and they keep saying things like, well, I do have inverted nipples, and I think that just means I'm never going to be able to breastfeed. I just wasn't built for breastfeeding because I have inverted nipples. Another thing I hear is moms who say on the flip side, well, the nurse said that I have great breastfeeding nipples, but my baby still won't latch. I don't understand. Here is the deal. Your baby is not designed to latch onto the nipple. After decades, over a century of this obsession with bottle feeding and this obsession with artificial pacifiers, I'm not saying those things are bad, and I'm not saying they don't have a place, but they have rewired our brains, becoming the social norm, the societal norm. They've rewired our brains to think that babies latch onto nipples, and they don't. They don't. They breastfeed. They are supposed to get that whole breast in their mouth. So it doesn't matter if you have great breastfeeding nipples, and it doesn't matter if you have inverted nipples. If your baby cannot latch, there is a reason why, and it's probably not you. So first things we need to do is make sure we're using good latching mechanics. Second thing we need to do is make sure the baby has great oral function. But I will say, sometimes if you have a baby who's struggling to latch because they have issues and you have inverted nipples, things could be a lot harder. And that's when different techniques and tools can come into play. Nipple shields can be a great tool in this scenario. There's a product on the market called supple cups, and they actually kind of help suction your nipple out if you have flat or inverted nipples. And there are other things you can do, like you can gently roll the nipple until it everts itself. You can pump before breastfeeding to help invert the nipples if you really feel like it's needed. But here's where the issue with inverted nipples really comes in from my perspective. When your baby latches onto the breast, your nipple will get drawn out even if it is inverted. For some people, it will stay everted. For others, it will retract again. It will turn inward again between feeds. And that's not necessarily a problem. However, if your baby is not latching well and is causing nipple damage, and then your nipple inverts on itself, it will start to heal to itself. So then the next time you pump or latch and that nipple's drawn out, there are little tiny adhesions that are getting ripped apart. And that can be a source of pain. I personally experienced this with two of my babies, which my youngest two, which ended up resulting in feeding each of them only on one side that was not the inverted side. And it was not easy, but we got there, and I was able to exclusively feed them on one side. And I'm not saying that's where you're going to be. That's just what my decision was. But that is something to look out for when you have inverted nipples. And if that is the situation you're in, there's a lot of different things on the market that can be helpful. I love Manuka honey for nipple healing, and I love the Mother Love nipple cream for nipple healing. Both of those are amazing resources. That is something that after your baby feeds, keep your nipple everted. Go ahead and apply a little bit of pressure, any way that you can to keep the nipple everted, to roll it out before putting the boobies away. Go ahead and apply that healing salve, whichever one you choose, and then you should be fine. Some people say like a topical application of serapeptase can be helpful at breaking down that scar tissue and those adhesions. That's kind of an expensive option, so it's not for everybody. It's just really important to understand that healing can happen, but what we want to do to prevent this entire situation is prevent that nipple damage in the first place. So if you are noticing that your baby is causing damage to both nipples, if your baby is you're in a lot of pain when feeding, and you come to the realization that this is an oral dysfunction issue, we want to get ahead of that so that it doesn't cause damage to your nipples, and then we've got this constant adhesion tearing. So then I would totally recommend, using a nipple shield to kind of have a first line of protection, and then you need to work with a lactation consultant. You need to be creating a plan because that's not sustainable. That's not a sustainable plan. This was a really quick episode, and I hope it answered a few questions about inverted nipples. If you have more questions about inverted nipples or more specific questions, go ahead and send me an email. And if you are looking to learn more about setting yourself up for breastfeeding success, you are looking to learn more about how to latch your baby well from the start so that you don't end up having damaged nipples because you're just not working with your baby and you're doing all the things that you were told you should do, but that are actually undermining you and making things harder, go get into the breastfeeding resource library right now. Now is the time before August 7th because guys, after August 7th, this $100 discount is going away. The price is going back to $197, which is still an insane steal. It is still a steal because I have worked with moms for like full prep and support packages that cost over $800 for multiple one-to-one consults where they learned everything that is inside this class. All right, so $197 is a steal, but right now it's $97. $97. Why are you not running to get into the breastfeeding resource library? If you have questions, if you are unsure, I want you to email me, Jaimie Zaki at littlebearlactation.com, or message me on Instagram at littlebearlactation because I want you to feel confident. You need to feel confident. And if you have any questions or any reasons that you cannot access the library right now, send me a message. Let's see what we can work out because I want to make this work for you. All right, I'll see you guys next time.
All right, Mama Bear, that is a wrap for today. If this episode helped you feel a little more confident or a little more prepared for breastfeeding, can I ask you a quick favor? Go ahead and leave me a review. It helps other moms find this podcast and join us in this amazing community of fierce and confident Mama Bears. And hey, if you know a friend who could use some encouragement or real talk about pregnancy, breastfeeding, and all things motherhood, share this episode with her. You've got this, Mama Bear. Trust your instincts, stay fierce, and I'll catch you in the next episode.